Welcome to Room Escape Divas, a podcast about escape rooms. And today our episode is a reunion episode.
Reunion. Introductions
of the hosts.
the hosts.
Not with anybody else, just a reunion of the hosts.
We have
Speak today.
we have a yeah.
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
My name is Errol.
I'm Manda.
I'm Ruby.
I can't fake a connection problem. I'm Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even edit that out because now it's a joke. And anyway, and we're back. We have this is a somewhat random episode in which we'll discuss a variety of topics. We're most excited because we are joined once again by Mike and Ruby in the very small sliver of time from when baby sleeps to when they sleep for a very short period of time. So we're very excited to have you guys back on again. Woo.
I know, we feel like guests now.
I know.
Yeah.
Like never on.
I mean, you've come to the community meetups, like you're there, and we get to see Gwen there too, and she's super cute. But yeah, so this is going to be a bit more random this time. I'm in the midst of school and tax season. Errol is in the midst of Cryptex Hunt. We've run out of buffer episodes. We've run out of guests, or don't have any currently lined up. So
we have some lined up. We just haven't asked.
We just haven't asked them, but time wise, it's just hard to pinpoint people's schedules. So this is going to be a fun episode. Just kind of
People are more. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say you would think people would be more available since we're all kind of at home.
Yeah. So we do have guests lined up. We just haven't asked them. For example, last week's was with Logan. And I had him in mind for a long time. I just forgot to ask him.
Yeah.
Until the week of. So there are people that we've talked to in 2020, and it's okay. Well, we have a bunch of things because that was when we actually had all these buffer episodes, and so we said we'll contact you in 2021 because that's when the buffer episodes will be done, and then we just never did.
Yeah,
because
Cryptex Hunt and because school and tax season. So
how is Cryptex Hunt going? In like less than 5-minute explanation.
Let's do a Cryptex Hunt check-in.
Good.
Great.
Cool.
That was the most concise thing ever talking about a puzzle hunt that Errol's working on.
I think Errol will have a lot more to say after it's done because he loves the postmortems.
Yeah,
but revealing too much before it's all released. I'm excited for it.
3 weeks. Ugh.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
We have
seems like a long time.
Is it going to make people cry either through story or through your puzzles?
Probably the latter. I'm guessing the latter. I think.
We'll see. I'm hoping that this will be the most accessible puzzle-wise for new people. That's my hope.
Interesting.
Why do you keep looking at me when you say new people?
Well, no, I don't think you're going to do it. I mean, you can do it, but I'm thinking just like a lot of people in the past, like for new escape room people who started it. I know that puzzle hunts can be very intimidating, so we did want to make this one less intimidating. But there are other natural barriers that will come up, so we'll find out how it will go. Yes.
Interesting.
Sounds super endorsing. Woo!
Yay. Fun.
How is life, Mike and Ruby? How have you been as parents and whatnot? And have you been able to get any gaming time in?
The funny thing is with escape rooms is that I feel it prepared us for some things, like the stress of a time crunch. Like, for example, all those escape rooms with bombs in them, I've kind of equated it to changing our baby. Like when I know she's about to blow or something, it's like, oh my God, is she gonna like pee all over me or poop everywhere? It's like, I gotta put this on really quick. It's like, I don't feel stressed because I've diffused like 100 bombs.
That's true.
And then when it comes to gross, disgusting liquids, who knows what the sanitation is like in some of those escape rooms.
Maybe.
And also, I've had to stick my hand in so many toilets and nasty whatevers in the dark, and it's like, what is this?
Well, at least now you have a perfect view of what it is, and it's
Perfect view.
technically
It's
part
very
of
well
you,
lit.
right?
Because I hope you're not changing diapers in the pitch dark.
No.
So yeah, I totally have a concept of like a horror. Like I knew we were gonna probably touch on horror rooms, so I had a concept of a horror room, like regarding like people who are new parents for a horror room. It's like you have a crying baby softly in the background as the room gets like closer to the end. The crying gets louder and more panicked,
Oh,
and it's like
boy.
yeah,
That's
and it's more.
PTSD, if you ask me.
Oh no, my friends, I can't remember if it was you guys I was telling this to, but they were describing how they felt changing, or like if they're putting their daughter down, like she's also a baby,
Hmm.
and it felt like like Zero Dark 30 or something, where they were like if they, like they're very quietly trying to leave the room without like knocking anything over, and then so one of them like accidentally knocks over like a pile of books
Oh,
or
yeah.
something, and they both like sit and stare because the baby's like jerked a bit, and just like that's like a bomb defusal thing where they're just trying not to set it off.
Yeah, I'm totally doing like Metal Gear Solid and those things. It's like I'm walking through the room. It's like, oh shit, knock something over! Exclamation mark. Take a box, hide under the box.
It's not so bad. It just depends on her sleep cycle and which part it is that you enter the room. Because I've noticed certain times I enter the room, I can be doing like making her milk, cleaning her bottles, and she's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my sister apparently
Kids.
with her kids, she could go into one baby doesn't like wakes up at the slightest sound, but the other baby she can go in like put laundry away, open and shut the closet doors over and over again, and she's just like a tank. She just sleeps through it all, and she's just like,
Nice.
Natalie, why can't you do that? I wonder if that should be something. No one's done a parenthood escape room yet. Maybe because
No.
too many people feel it in real life. Maybe they don't want to relive it in an escape
It's
room.
too real.
Why would we want to relive that? That sounds like a horrible idea.
But yet we're okay to be like, chained up in a
Yeah.
serial killer's bathroom or something.
Yeah, like, gonna get cut by a table saw
Yeah.
and fed to the devil, fine, but, change a diaper. No, man.
No. No. I don't have kids anymore. There's a reason for that. No more diapers for me.
No more
You
time.
have kids, they're just not in diapers.
Yeah, they're not in diapers, one would hope.
One would hope. Great.
Oh, my
This
goodness.
is Room Escape Divas, the children episode.
Children episode. Hey, I'm
The
going
parent
back to
episode.
escape rooms. Like, if you were to have a baby themed or parent themed escape room, what would it look like? And what kind of challenges would there be? What would the goal be, even?
Well,
Not to
it could
get
be
sprayed
also.
with
Well, the
poo.
thing is, it's like having one of those baby showers, and now we've just made it into a escape room game. And now it's like,
Yeah, that's
okay, everybody, dig around in the poopy diaper, but it's chocolate.
It just looks gross, but it smells nice.
Yeah. So in the end, don't have kids, everybody.
You say that, but if you were to have the opportunity to go back and do it all over again, would you?
Oh, of course. I
Well
have
then.
buddies. There you go.
I have buddy. Yeah, you do have a gaming buddy now, like a living
And a
gaming
trolling buddy.
and a trolling buddy.
Yes.
You
And
really
a K-drama buddy.
molded your daughters to like. Except your
His
trolling
voice.
buddy wants to just troll you, or
No,
doesn't
no,
want
no.
to be
She wants to
bothered.
troll Lizette.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
true.
yeah. Whenever somebody who is easily trolled is in the room, suddenly Zoe's on your side. Did notice that pattern quite a bit.
It's like when Tom and Jerry team up, and it's like, oh dear, it's one of those episodes.
Anyway, one of the things I wanted to talk about today was, we've been playing a lot of online escape rooms, and I also just harken back to the escape rooms we played in person, back in the long, long ago, and a lot of them have been horror themed in a way.
Mhm.
And I kind of just wanted to talk about that because I actually, believe it or not, I do love horror movies, not slasher flicks. I don't like those, but like, you your exorcisms, your ghost hauntings, that kind of thing. I tend to love. Occasionally zombies if it's done really well. I don't go for Saw. Forget that. No way. But
So you're horror, not thriller. There's a difference. Yeah.
yes, I'm more horror than thriller, like
Mhm.
supernatural horror and that kind of thing. And I've noticed the thing with online escape rooms, that even the quote unquote scary ones, while they're spooky themed and they're uncomfortable sometimes, but I don't feel the way in an online escape room, for instance, the way that I might feel playing a horror video game,
Mhm.
where like I'm scared, like, oh, those scare the crap out of me. I can't go forward without, turning the game off for 5 hours and willing myself to be able to open that door that's like jiggling in its frame right now.
Mhm.
So but with the escape rooms, I know that the intent is to scare me, but I'm not actually so that scared usually. Some of that is Errol. We got to factor in the Errol bias, because if you're playing with Errol, he will do everything in his power to not make it scary. Uh
That's not true.
uh-huh.
I'm all for people being scared in a scary
That
escape
is
room.
true, but usually your shenanigans can lead to like us laughing more than say dreading. Um,
It's
you
not my
know,
fault. Now,
okay.
for example, Horror Hotel was amazing.
Yes, for you that was amazing. For us, that
Everybody was
was
so scared, and that wasn't even my fault.
well,
Everybody was just petrified in that game. It was
I
great.
think part of that too was the Lizette factor.
Oh,
Because Errol's
yeah.
sister was the one who booked the room. And this isn't a spoiler for the room, because it's at the booking stage, but at the beginning, you have to choose items in order to play the game. So you get to choose a few inventory objects that you'll have throughout it, and they actually kind of tailor the game around the inventory objects you play. Not by much, like it's still the same basic flow, but how you solve problems might differ. And Lizette's a pacifist and thought, I'm going to solve things with my brain instead of with violence, which is noble, but that really did not help us. And it actually very much enhanced the panic that we felt when we'd get to certain points and we'd think, how are we going to get out of this? And we'd look at our inventory and we're like, I don't know. We don't have a gun, right? Like it was, we had to be very creative about how we thought to use our inventory. And it made it more panicky as a result. That was one of the ones where I felt like, I don't know how you guys feel, but like about found footage and that kind of thing. But
Mhm.
that and there's a couple of other ones like The Exorcist and The Beast, for instance, where they really take advantage of their camera movement. Those were the first horror themed escape rooms where I feel like they realized that they are in control of the camera. They can point it to wherever they want. And so you can almost have like cutscenes in online escape rooms, whereas you can't in-person ones. Not really, because everyone goes off and
Mhm.
tries to solve puzzles while the cutscene's going on, right?
Mhm.
But this one, like, we're all sitting there, we have no choice but to look at the screen, and they actually made very effective, especially Horror Hotel, made very effective use of their camera angles. And I felt like that was the first time I did actually feel scared in that one a bit more, because like, yeah, because something would veer left, something was there, would veer back, and it was gone, and I'd be like, oh crap, right? And there's certain camera tricks that you can do to kind of, you know let that suspension of disbelief increase, and the tension increase as well as a result. What do you guys think? I don't know, I know you guys haven't had chance to play online escapes that much, but in general, how do you feel about horror games and escape rooms, like of the ones we've played?
First, I'm sad that I haven't played any, especially horror ones. But like, I'm trying to imagine, especially for the online escapes that we have played. I mean, a lot of it, as you guys have probably talked to death, are very GM dependent in how they run the production, right? Because
Mhm.
just having, say, like a teenager running as your GM, like, oh no, here's that scary thing in the wall. Look, it's jiggling. What should we do?
Right.
Is what you're talking about, utilizing camera angles and utilizing cutscenes and making it more like a movie, especially like when like you're like in a Zoom call, right? And then you have like smug Errol there and Lizette kind of like half panicking on her phone because she's not sure how it's working, right? So you're all focusing on this one screen, and it's like, while all your other friends have their own reaction, it's like, okay, this is really going to work somehow.
That was one of the delights of Horror Hotel, because that's what we learned what everybody's horror tick was. Whenever they got scared, what they would do. So Lizette was, I actually, so for the benefit of people who aren't seeing this, but my hands would go on my head and I would just sit there like clutching my head, and then like maybe I'd like, put my fist in my mouth because I just can't take it anymore. Margot, our friend Margot, backs away from the camera, because like stands up out of her chair because she can't take the tension either, and then Lizette just jumps out of the frame entirely.
She dodges and then she jumps.
Yeah,
Great.
so like it was really fun to see what people's actual reactions were when they were scared. And so we tested that. No other game other than Horror Hotel did we experience that. We did play the Catacombs online, and I played that was one where I played it in real life, right? And
how did that translate? Yeah,
it was okay. It wasn't the greatest, but when I described what happened in the in-person version and the feeling of it, there's no way you can replicate that. And it didn't have the same effect on me. I was curious what they were going to do, given that they had the first person view and the Blair Witch feel to it, kind of thing. But it's I don't think they used it completely to their advantage, and it was hard. It's especially hard when something spooky happens in the room and the sound system isn't good enough to pick up that sound. And so oftentimes it's the game host suddenly being like, "Oh, did you hear that?" Or like, "Did you see that? Did you see that? Look!" And the camera will zoom in on something that's on the ground that was evidently somewhere else before, but we didn't catch it, or we didn't see it, or we didn't hear it. And we're like, "Oh no, did it move? Oh!" And sometimes it happens. Sometimes I manage to glimpse it, but sometimes it's either too quick or too quiet or just not big enough. And so like the moment's kind of lost. Sometimes poor Errol, actually no, wait, not poor Errol, poor game host. Sometimes you have an actor in the room and they're usually playing characters now. And this was, again, this isn't a spoiler, but like the way that the actor was acting in The Beast, he was trying to have a moment, to really take in what's just happened and be like, "Oh my gosh." But Errol, meanwhile, is like, all of us actually were yelling instructions into the mics and not
that was
letting
really
him.
more in The Exorcist. Before he knew what we were like.
Yeah, then when we played the second game, he was like, "Okay, these jokers are not gonna take this seriously. Neither am I." And it was great fun. And it was great fun in the first one too. But I felt really bad for him because he was really trying to have an acting moment. And we were just like, "Turn the dial! Turn it!" Like, that's not an actual whistle in the game, but we were just like, "Do it!" and while he's being like, "What just happened? Did you see that? Yeah, the dial! Turn it!"
Poor guy.
Poor guy, yeah. And I feel like there's a big opportunity here that isn't getting taken up immediately, and I hope to see that change. And I have seen it in better, like I've seen it improve in some games, but I would love to see that. I don't know if you've seen what's it called? Unfriended. Have you heard of or seen that movie? It's like one that takes place exclusively on a Skype call, and of course weird things happen and stuff. And I'm like, I would love to see something like that in a game where you're like someone in the call suddenly has something happen, disappears. Like you could have planted actors and stuff to do that. And I was like, oh, there's not enough of that.
What the Beast does. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
What the Beast and the Exorcist do very well is they meld video and real life very well, and they also take advantage of a third person point of view. So then, because it's I don't know, I find it hard to be scared when it's first person from a from a head cam or from a chest cam, because it's either shaking, and so yeah, they might be scared, but we can't see anything. So that's scary, I guess, right? But if it was a still camera, or if it was like in The Beast and in The Exorcist, you have one camera person and it's focusing on the game host, and we are watching the game host react to things.
I think with virtual or these online escape rooms, I think the focus really comes away from like having those builders and people building those really nice sets. I mean, that's important, but it almost becomes like they need a director, and they need like more film related people to take control, to make it more film like, TV like, movie like.
Yeah, I think it's no longer like a set design production value that we're looking for. It's more so like a technical production value in terms of how you capture the camera angles, which part are you going to film, and what is it that you're trying to show the audience, which are your players, because that's what's going to immerse your players into the game, instead of having them just stare at somebody play through, like Errol says, a chest cam and a head cam would totally ruin any sort of immersion into the horror feeling, because you can't see everything, and those are really not great cameras, to be honest, especially in the dark, and most of these horror rooms are always in the dark. So like how are you going to see the little paper floating down, or like a sudden creak of a door opening if there's not integrated sounds, right? It just doesn't make sense.
And sound design is such a key to horror in general, whether it's film or video games.
Definitely.
Is that The Grudge? Are you trying The Grudge?
I don't know where it's from.
I think he's trying to that kid, right? Doesn't the kid meow?
No, the kid meows. The woman is like.
Oh, okay. I don't remember which one it is.
I thought you're trying to do E.T. at the moment. E.T. phone home.
Well, that's something that one of my clients, who's an opera company, did had a lot of theater companies have had to pivot online, so they thought, hey, we'll do a live stream of a show, and now they're having to contend with something they've never had to contend with, and they didn't think about it until shortly before, or they thought about it earlier, but it only occurred to them suddenly that, wait, we need to hire camera directors. We are a theater company. And they didn't think about it at first, but I didn't think about it at first, but it's like, oh yeah, because they're like, what are we doing? Are we doing a straight on camera, or are we doing a 3-camera setup to film this thing? We're gonna need actual like film directors involved in this, because we don't know what we're doing. We're not film people. We don't know where to point cameras, and so that's kind of the same kind of thing, where you're like, you have a new medium, you have a new focus, you need to know how to work that in a way that is effective. I think that isn't just horror games either. That could be any game.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Knowing
it's just horror games. It's just you expect bigger reactions out of people due to the fact that, like, in a room physically, it's very easy to scare them, right? That's why there's so many haunted houses and stuff. But when you're trying to do it on camera, and where the person's actually in our case for now, everyone's at home, so they're in the comfort and safety of their own home, right? And you show something on the screen, right? Like, how do you get them to be scared? How do you pull them into your world enough that they will jump at that slight sound, or at that little thing fluttering, or whatever it may be?
Right, that's exactly it. Yeah, that's just it. How do you make them uncomfortable in their own homes? And video games have done it. But then video games are different. And yeah. Oh,
video games, you have a much easier control over your avatar.
Turn the dial. Video games,
you have a button that you can just press to turn it off.
Well, not even that though. They still immerse you that you can be scared.
Well, they immerse me enough that I'm like afraid of what's behind my couch suddenly, in a way that I wasn't before. Like, I'll be sitting there playing a video game, and I'm suddenly just very aware of the empty space behind me, and the fact that I have no visual of it. And video games that, especially if they have really good sound design, if you play any of the Silent Hill games, even those old ones, but the newer ones especially, the sound design has just gotten. They have directional hearing now. I can't remember what it's called, and it just freaks you out.
Sure.
And it'd be great to have that in an online escape. I've been scared in regular escape rooms, which we've talked about at length before. and I still will be. And there's something about being physically there that makes it scary, or the fear of being isolated from the group that makes it scary.
So what made it scary with Horror Hotel, the only one you've been scared in?
So Horror Hotel, I was also more stressed. There were moments I was actually scared. And with Horror Hotel, it was what I mentioned before. It was a particular thing they did near the beginning that got up my discomfort, because I was like, there are things that are going to be sneaking up on me. And then when you realize the stakes in Horror Hotel as well, you have to press forward, but there are also dangers there as well. And then there's the out of control thing that I had, which is that Lizette didn't pick any good weapons. Poor Lizette, she'll constantly feel bad about it, but we always joke about it because it made for a very scary experience. Because we were like, what do you do? Because that's a lot of what makes movies scary too, is like a character is helpless with nothing in their arsenal that could help them, and they have to get creative, right? That actually made it more scary for me versus having every weapon under the sun. Like if I play something like Doom, that's just more stressful, right? I have every gun on the planet in my hands, ready to just shoot things. If I'm in a psychological horror game instead, or if you've watched a horror movie, you don't really see anybody with like a ton of guns, unless it's like near the climax where they finally get something that could help them out. But for the first like half to 3/4 of that movie, they're on their own, they're isolated, and they are without any aid whatsoever. And that feeling of kind of helplessness raises that tension. And the fact that it's like, we have nothing to help. we have some very basic items, and I guess we'll have to become MacGyver in order to make them useful to us. And we did. And the game hosts were there to help us. Obviously they're not going to put barriers up for us, but they too also they told us afterwards, you're the first group who's never picked any weapons, and we had to get really creative. So yeah, but I think it's that sense of like helplessness and the unknown. The unknown is a big thing, and sorry, I'm going on a rant now, but a little goes a long way. I prefer scares where you see a glimpse of something and then you're not sure if you saw it, or you're not sure what it is, but you know that it probably doesn't mean you well, and it's probably coming after you, but you don't know when. So that unknown element is really scary. If you've played Amnesia, that's what the whole game is, unless you're Errol and you just spend the first hour of the game in the lobby throwing rocks around and breaking all the tension in the room.
If there's a physics engine, I want to play with it.
I know. And we respect you for that.
And that's only in an untimed environment.
Yes. Yeah.
Because Errol would actually do things in horror rooms.
Well, you know what? I watched you guys play that game, The Forest, zombie survival. And while Echo's out there exploring, and, she has a horde of zombies chasing her, Errol will still be building his base very calmly.
Yeah, very calmly. Here's a rock.
And then he'll get killed by the zombies. Like, why didn't you warn me? It's like I did as I was running back.
If you ever get a chance to play a game or watch Echo and Errol play a game together, especially a crafting game, it's something special, because they both have very different styles of gaming, and aesthetics. Actually, they have the same sense of organization. They'll both want tons of boxes that parse out everything. But when it comes to like the aesthetic of whatever base they happen to be building, we'll come across Errol will like build something very orderly and very well planned out, and then you'll just see this random element thrown into it, like like I think you built like a medieval castle style thing, and then suddenly space door. That was in Portal Knights. He's like, what? Who built this door? And it was like, it looked pretty. And Errol's like, ugh. It's one of the times Errol will get kind of stressed out because like it doesn't. And
You didn't like her stairs.
I did not, because I couldn't get on them. She's like, you just have to take a running jump at them. And I was like, I don't think that's how stairs are supposed to work. Yeah, they were like jutting out the bottom and clipping with everything, and yeah. But also because Echo will just run off somewhere, and we'll have a goal, and we'll be running across to a cave or whatever, and then we'll turn around like, where's Echo? And she's like, 5 miles the other way, and she's like, I saw a bunny, and like, is trying to like kill a rabbit that we have like 20 rabbits at home, but no, she'll still go in and chase the rabbit around, and then you see some mutant cannibals coming over the ridge. Echo, get out of the way! No, I've almost got it. And yeah, it's hilarious. It stresses me out. So you get the benefit of me getting stressed out too, and then Errol's laughing because I'm stressed out. And
None of this is exaggerated. I watched him for 2 hours just to watch this whole thing. Pretty entertaining. But then I realized, oh crap, I should have took a nap. Oh crap, baby. Okay.
Baby.
So yeah.
Baby.
So in the end, that's something, I don't know what you guys think, but that's something I'd like to see more in horror games. It's just more of a sense of slow dread, more playing with camera angles, more of the unknown. I think actually the Beast did that pretty well in some points too. But yeah, do you guys have any favorite scary games, or do you actually even like scary games? It's okay if you don't.
I've always liked horror and thriller movies, especially in my younger years. In terms of games, I just feel like a lot of the escape ones that we've done don't do it very well. And they mainly just use darkness as an excuse.
There was a really scary game. There was the one with the doll in the cage, and then like the doll spits out a small key in the cage, and then you have to find the small key.
That was
with
not
the little.
That was just.
Wait, did you do that? Oh, I didn't do that with you.
Did we do that? Yeah,
Yes,
we did it together.
We did it together.
Did we do it together?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Me and you went
Small
over to
key.
that stupid kitchen, or what is it? The chicken cage. Oh.
Wait, I didn't do. I mean, well, we've done that escape rooms together. I don't know if we did
wait.
that
We
one.
didn't do that one. You did that one with your best friend.
Oh.
Yeah, not us. Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
Who did we do it with?
We did the room where he told us to get an education in Canada together.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
Yeah, all right. So I think it was a library one. We did do a very
We did that one together.
frustrating-
Yeah.
It also had small keys.
Yes, like small keys,
Super
like
small.
1 centimeter keys.
And then when you when you received the key, it was just spit out at you and fell on the floor, and it was like
In the dark.
No.
And what they did was they technically went to like, I think they cleared out one of those. What are those Halloween stores called? The
Oh,
spirited
yeah.
Halloween stores.
Those
When-
seasonal Halloween
Yeah,
stores.
it felt like they went there after Halloween and like cleared out and bought all the props possible and threw it all into the room. They're all battery operated stuff that made stupid sounds like cackling or giggling dolls and whatever. I went around turning them all off.
Yeah, so did I actually. And they put up those plastic sheets with
Yes.
oh my goodness.
Oh, like the dollar store plastic sheets.
Dollar store plastic sheets with pictures of scary ghosts and cats
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah.
Not scary. Halloween ghosts and cats on them. It's like, this is a haunted nursery. Okay.
Thanks.
Oh. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't have been so upset with that if it wasn't for the fact that it's in the dark and they just spat number of small keys at you.
Yeah.
And it was, I hate
I think the noise really bothered me. Noise pollution bothers me. Like Manda said earlier, less is more.
Actually, I did write, I remember when I a red report on it because I was so angry with that room.
You still have those?
I remember red
somewhere.
reports.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
like to see that.
Yeah, I was so mad at that room.
Uh,
But
Anyway.
yeah, there's there's ones that are well done. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to think what it's called. It's the one at the maze.
The maze.
Oh, Shaft, the
Japanese.
Shaft.
No,
Oh,
Osaka
no,
High.
Osaka.
Oh, Osaka.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Yeah,
I thought that one was done really well.
That
and
one was
there
done very well.
less stuff happening. It was all
Yeah.
like psychological and it creeps the crap out of you in your own mind.
Yeah, it was a very creepy room. That
I
was
remember
a scary
having
one.
a lot of arguments, debates with people. And it's like a preference thing, right? People are always going to have an idea of what's a scarier thing, right? And it all depends on your preference. Some people think that jump scares are scarier. Some people don't. Some people, so there was like 2 escape rooms here. One of them was Osaka High. Another one was another Japanese themed one.
Yeah.
That was
Oh.
horror.
Yeah.
And they were like, and both have their good points, and so an enthusiast and I were having a debate on which one was scarier, and they swore up and down that the other one was scarier.
I don't know. That was like funhouse scary. It's like you see the jump scare and it's like, oh, there it is again.
It's like you know what's coming at you.
For
Yeah.
me, there were 11 people clomping around, so
Oh,
that really just
yeah.
like deflated
Ruined it.
any sort of unknown tension and stuff, and whereas Osaka High, there was a lot of moments where we would have to be alone somewhere,
Yeah.
and you're just like, crap, I hate bathrooms. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like in a horror, that's our joke when we do our games and stuff, is like, I'm like, nothing ever good happens in a bathroom in a horror movie. Just nothing ever. I hate it. If I went into a video game, they enter a room and it's a bathroom, and I'm like, crap, what's gonna be in the mirror? What's gonna be in the bathtub? Or the spots it's gonna run? Is the mirror gonna break? Is something gonna appear?
Well, it's gonna
I don't
flush.
know. Is something gonna creak at me? And it's like, oh crap, the shower curtain's drawn. Can I draw it? I can. Crap. I don't want to know what's behind it. I don't want to know. And so, yeah, I hate bathrooms. Sorry, that was my bathroom rant.
This is why I don't watch horror movies. So
This
Well,
is
that
why
would've
it's
been
fun to play
awesome.
horror movies with or horror games with man pans. But then she also gets mad at you and then just
No.
starts
I
swearing
do.
at you.
If you actually want to hear me get actual angry, I do get angry at Errol when we play the Forest together.
yes, I've seen it.
I will yell with all my might. Then I'll apologize after, but it's in the moment, because Errol will be like, "Oh, come on, we'll be in a cave with mutant cannibals in like screeching in the distance, and it's echoing through, and it's all dark." And Errol will just be like, "Oh, just come over here." Where? Here. Where's here? Just come over here. I'm right here. I'm right behind you. I'll turn behind what I think is behind me. No, there's no Errol there. I'm like, where are you? I have to get a thing. Where's the thing? What thing? What thing are you talking about?
And in the
Poor Man Pans is so scared that she suddenly loses the ability to use the controller.
well, that game is stupid sometimes with its controls. It's like, here, I have to get out a weapon. Hang on.
But when I'm behind you, it's like, turn around. You're not turning around. You're not there. Turn
I
180.
think some of that is the network. I think it's sometimes the
No,
network.
I think it's the stress of the utter fear, because it's scary. It's a very scary game, and you can't see more than like 5 feet in front of you, and then it's darkness.
Yeah.
Poor Man Pans.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
any noise, it just
Like, if you ever saw the
freaks her
movie
out.
The Descent, it feels like that going in, where you're just squeezing through tight spaces of rock, and then
Great.
you can't
Love this
see
game.
anything, and you just, all you can hear around you is like the reverb of the cave, and like the dripping noises, and then the occasional like in the distance, and you're like, oh crap.
The Descent. I swear we've seen that.
I don't know.
I
So
don't remember.
it's a movie about cave diving that doesn't go well. Spoiler.
It's also
I
the
watched
first
it.
time I've also seen Errol get frustrated because, again, you see Echo coming from the distance from her 5 miles away, and then she's like running back, and then running past you. It's like, what? Why is she running? There's zombies!
And then you hear
And then they come after,
in
and
the
then
background, and
Errol's
you're like,
dead.
Well, the thing is, she doesn't say anything. She
No.
just runs.
she just runs, and you'll see her run past, and then she'll say, "Oh, watch out!" Poof. And I'm You're just knocked
John
down,
the Horde.
and there's a zombie horde behind you, and you're like, oh no.
Well, usually in a game, you want an assessment of how dangerous things are. Like with Man Pants, it's one cannibal. There's something there. There's something there. What's there? It's gonna kill us all. And then it's just one zombie, and it's like, okay, no, there's 3 of us and 1 of it. We're fine. Then you have Echo, and she just runs past. It's like, what's wrong, Echo? What's wrong? Is there something there? And then you look, and then there's a horde of them. It's like, why did you tell us more? Then there's just something there, and we're just running because it was very dangerous. Anyway, it's
accurate, very
different.
accurate.
Yeah, it is. It's so funny, and so yeah. Poor Man Pans, you're doing great.
Yeah, thanks. That this has turned into a pep talk podcast.
Doing great, you're doing great. And then Man Pan's like, I get out of here. It's too dangerous. And then Echo and I are staying back because we're cutting down trees. And then Manda's stuck somewhere, lost. He's like, you should have just stayed with us. It was dangerous where you were. Well, you could have just cut down trees with
Attack
us.
you every 5 seconds, and then like Echo's come in, and now we're like, we talking about the forests? What are we doing? We should play after. Anyway, back to escape rooms, I guess. The Tangent Podcast. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about horror games. I love them. I would love to see scarier horror games, and I would love to see a great found footage style horror game online that we could play.
You know, I think one of the problems is trying to get enough, because you need a strong tech team in the background. You don't need right now it's just one person in one room, and it's really hard to make that scary. Like, that's why I think I like The Beast and The Exorcist, because they have how many people in the back all doing the special effects, and
those were great. Like and even like if you guys should play it. If you ever get to play it, like the transition between live action and then the cutscene, the actor will actually be at the exact angle he needs to be when the cutscene starts, and it'll like, that's the kind of transition we're talking about.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's obvious that a transition is kind of happening, but it's the most seamless I've seen so far. And yeah, that's really cool.
So for these ones that you guys have done that are saying that they're successful in being in a horror room, were they an existing room before, or did they build this specifically for virtual online stuff?
They were both existing before.
Okay.
Horror Hotel I think has completely different goals. In fact, I think they told us afterwards that it's a total dark room. Like usually people are playing in pitch black, and they changed it for the online version. Thank you. For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
well, yeah, because it'd be boring. Don't see anything. It's scary.
Did you see that?
Okay.
Did you see that?
Feel that?
No, again. Horror Hotel is definitely a different experience. I would put that more in the it can be very scary, and I think because of our team it ended up being a bit more stressful than scary. There was something about, I became that annoying person, and I won't say what the specific plot point is because I won't spoil it. I became that annoying person in the horror movie theater, whatever, who yells at the TV when a character's doing something she doesn't want them to do. So, and this is what happened at one point in Horror Hotel. The actor started doing something, and we were controlling him up until that point. Like, go over here, go over there, and then he stopped doing what we were saying, and he started going toward, like, no, go back, no, back. What are you doing? What are you doing? And that's when, like, Margaret was getting up, standing away from the camera. I had my hands on my head. I'm like, no, get away from there. No. So that like, and Errol was just laughing.
Yeah. It was so great doing with them.
And then I was just like, shut up. Oh, so funny. I think poor everybody, because I do get sweary and angry in horror rooms, and you can tell when I'm stressed out when I start yelling at other people who don't deserve it. Like poor Lizette,
like me.
I think all of our audience would beg to differ on that one. But like your sister, for instance, who asked something like in Horror Hotel, like, oh, how did you solve that? how did we solve that puzzle? And I just kind of like went into the microphone. We could discuss that after. Like I was just like,
Oof.
wait until the room is done. We don't have time for
Aw.
this. And, yeah. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I haven't yelled at. We have another player now who comes to our community meetups, Myra, and Philip also come. I haven't yelled at them yet.
One day, that's our goal.
If it was going to be someone first, it would probably be Philip. Sorry, Philip, because you troll more, so I can see that happening. You probably would provoke me into yelling at you a little more. Myra is one of the sweetest people ever, and would never say anything mean to anybody. And so if I yell at her, it'll probably be a sign that I'm really stressed. Is that like? Do you have anything, Errol? Latest updates or anything? Anything new? How's the Discord going? In the escape room Discord. I pop in there momentarily, but I'm not in there as much as I should be, probably.
Good.
It's good.
No. There are people in there. We're all discussing stuff. Remember the MIT hunt just finished back in January. So a lot of people were discussing that. There's a lot of podcasts that are popping up. So that's super exciting.
Yes, there are new podcasts.
There are a lot of new podcasts. And I would say them all, but there's many of them. And then I'll miss one. And then I'll feel like a jerk. So maybe we can just put them in the description. But that's really exciting. Actually, we had somebody new to our enthusiast meetup because they were hoping to start a new podcast as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
So it's exciting
Catching
to see all
on.
these new podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm surprised more haven't started because of COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're at home. Why not just start their own podcast thing? I mean, I guess it makes sense because nobody can do escape rooms. So, other than the online ones.
Mm-hmm.
Other news, I have joked about designing a forensic accounting game, and then someone found one online.
Oh.
Tammy found a website from a forensic accounting firm that actually does a forensic accounting kind of escape type game that they run virtually, and now I want to play it super badly because I'm a nerd. I also might want to have them on this podcast because that just sounds interesting.
Accounting.
Come on, man. It can be exciting. You're solving a mystery. It's a mystery.
With
numbers.
spreadsheets.
Don't pay attention to the name. The name of the first case is The Case of the Cash Flow Crisis.
Now, to be fair, a lot of puzzle hunts just deal with spreadsheets in general.
Yeah, seriously. And it said for fans of Sherlock Holmes. Come on. You like
For
Sherlock
fans of
Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes and Excel.
Yeah.
I am sure that Venn diagram is
Oh, boy.
huge.
You don't have to play.
Intersection.
I'm gonna go play and have all the fun, and you'll be like, "Oh man, I
Oh,
should have had
man.
fun too."
I
You
wish
won't say
I
that.
could have made up this formula for this. I actually like coming. I spend more time on spreadsheet formulas sometimes than I do on solving puzzle hunts because there are spreadsheets out there that are shared amongst the puzzle solver people that have all sorts of amazing formulas in it that will automatically extract things for you, even translate, pull in images, just does all sorts of things in Google Sheets. So yeah, I seriously, sometimes I'll just spend the time just coloring it pretty, just so that it can see things nicer. And it takes me longer to color it. And then I have to remember, wait, how do I highlight a whole row? For some reason, I always get that formula wrong. I don't know what's wrong with me. That conditional statement just seems to what's this conditional
You just
statement
made
again?
fun of me for like.
Well, I made fun
Here
of
you
you
are.
because I would do it. So that's why. There you go.
What? That doesn't even make any sense.
That's why I make fun of half the things I do, because I know I do it myself. Except for being scared in the forest. Then it's just funny when you're swearing
Then
at
it's
me.
just funny, right?
Yes,
Okay, great. I try not to swear either, and then it just comes out because there's a
I know
zombie
you're
guy
swearing
right
at
in
my
front
daughter, I tell you.
of me. She's 19. She can handle that. I used to hold back. Now, no more.
Just release your ire upon my daughters. Roast it on Zoe. She deserves it, you know.
I don't think I don't think I couldn't take on Zoe.
No,
It's
she'd
no.
win.
She'd win. Like for sure. I have no shame in admitting that.
Poor little Zoe.
Yeah. No, not poor little Zoe. She's dealing just fine, thank you very much. Poor me. I guess we're coming up on an hour now. Anyone else want to chat about anything else, or are we?
I had a big question, but I'm going to save that for another episode.
Oh, I want
What's
to
your
hear the
big question?
question.
Come on, Mike.
You moved. I was going to pretend we were disconnected.
Oh,
Like, I froze, and then she's like moving at a panel. It's
Sorry, Mike.
no, it had to do with COVID. I mean, like, I've been thinking about this for work, and with vaccinations rolling out and, well, everything happening, and is it like what's going to be the new normal? And that's what I'm thinking about in my work industry. So the question is, with escape rooms, what will probably be the new normal? Are we going to be still seeing these virtual escape rooms, people investing more time and money, as we discussed, with like the production value of having greater virtual ones, or are we going to see people going back to traditional rooms? Yeah.
You know what I'm interested in also knowing? This is a little bit of an aside, is that the states were always public booking, but they had to go private because of COVID.
That's
Right.
a big change now,
So
yeah.
do you think they'll go back to public in the rush? We're like, okay, we're open, and we know that everybody's dying to get out now. So will they take advantage of that and go back to public, or do you think some of them will stick with private? Who knows? We all
still
like
on
the private
lockdown.
system. Yeah. No, after lockdown.
Yeah.
That's what I
Oh.
meant. Yeah.
So I think, yeah, this will probably be a bigger discussion for another episode. If people are interested, they can email us, and then maybe we can do it. But yeah, just a thought.
That means you guys get to come back on. Yay. Well, you can come on anytime, really.
Well, we could also bring on.
Seeing as you're the host.
We could also bring. Wow, man. Yeah, you're the host. You can come back if you
You
like.
can come back.
We'll
Whatever.
let you. Nice going, man. Pants. No, but we could also see about having owners on because they're,
That's true.
they're running the business.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about all the logistics on that. Mike is approaching it because he can work from home in his business, so that's fortunate. So can I. I never leave this house.
You don't.
I've been out once this year.
Karen and I were talking about the fact because she was like, "Oh, I always forget to bring in the garbage cans now, but because that Errol used to do that, but now he just never
Oh.
leaves the house."
Are you
So
serious? Even that, dude.
Well, no, it's not that I didn't want to. It's just that I forget there's stuff out
Yeah.
there.
yeah,
So
that's what I
part of
meant.
your,
time,
like-
Yeah.
every time I come home from work, I would take in the garbage
Yeah.
on. But
Because
now,
part of your routine.
You're just
Yeah.
always inside, so it's
I
like, what
never
could
go
be out
outside.
there? Who knows?
oh yeah.
It's a mystery world.
And Karen always looks for an excuse to leave the house. I don't blame her. So, well, yeah. So I think our natural, how we are reacting to this COVID and to this quarantine isolation thing, it's good because I don't mind staying inside and she doesn't mind leaving. So.
It's a good trade-off.
It's a great
Yay!
trade-off, because imagine if both of us were like that.
Oh, yeah.
If both of us only wanted to stay on the side, then we'd all starve. If both of us wanted to leave, then we'd just kill each other.
Why?
Well, because we can't stand being inside the house for long periods of time. We'd be fighting. Who gets to go grocery shopping? Okay, I'll bet you a kid.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Mike and Ruby. Yay, this was fun. I
Yay.
miss like
Great to
the all
guest
four of
star.
us podcasts.
I should have asked you, Man Pants, to listen to the designer spotlight with Logan
no.
last week.
Why? Why? What
Near
did you?
the end, you should listen to me talk us out.
Oh no! Oh no! What do you do? Just tell me.
What do you mean?
was
What
it?
do I do? Let's just say I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I could see how that went. Oh, I don't really do this. It's man pen. Something,
right, I don't-
something, inverse genius. Something, something.
I guess I
Facebook.
should listen.
Okay, bye.
See, you can tell Mike didn't listen to it, but seems to quote it exactly.
I've seen you do it before.
Yeah, it was so hard.
100 and how many episodes? And none
Huh?
of it got into your head?
Well, I don't pay attention to what you say
Yeah, but
during
for
that
Find us
time.
on
For a-
inversegenius.
I got that part. What?
For
Right.
other,
Right.
just okay. So what part did you miss?
Room Escape Divas is brought to you by Inverse Genius.
Yeah, I got that part right, and then everything else after that just went
something
downhill.
something Facebook, Twitter,
You can find us on
REDivas.
Facebook.
I think I said
Yeah.
that. Maybe I might have missed that part.
You can find us on Twitter with the handle #REDivas.
I think I said
But no
that.
one never
I don't
uses.
know.
You can
Yeah.
email us at
RoomEscapeDivas at gmail.com.
yes.
I tried to make sure I said Inverse Genius though, and that there are podcasts there that other people like.
great job. I mean,
Other
that's-
geeky and fun podcasts.
Oh, right. That's what Man
other
Pan
fun
says.
podcasts just like this one.
Okay.
dear.
Maybe you should listen this time in case you're.
Do we even have to do it? We said most of it.
Yeah, we've said most of it, kind of out of order and in very broken sentences, but yeah, sure. Room Escape Divas is brought to you by Inverse Genius. Go to inversegenius.com to find Errol, to find.
Errol, you're gonna find me.
No.
Oh, baby, sad.
No.
Wow, that's a sad baby.
Yeah, I should find a happier one.
Oh, those are great.
Find other fun podcasts just like this one. You can also email us at roomescapedivas.gmail.com.
It's hard to tell. At least it's not. She's not crying.
gmail.com.
She could still be sad though.
Go to Facebook, click the like button, come to our community meetups. They're fun.
Oh, I don't think I said that.
Oh, look
Oh,
at that.
man.
Friday
That's-
night, 6:30
That's
p.m.
because you
Eastern
added it
Standard
in.
Time. But you could still I've been saying this for the last like how many months?
Sorry, Mike and Ruby are show. Is that kid eating chicken?
Yep.
Oh, really? She's on solid foods?
Yep.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. Or did I know that?
Yeah, we started a week
Oh.
and a half ago.
Oh, okay. A week and a half ago. That's still relatively recent. I didn't know
We
that.
derailed
one's a
not
funny
only
one.
Man Pans but Errol at the same time with the
What's
baby.
They're
is that a
baby.
banana?
No,
Or is that
that's a
still
drumstick.
chicken? Oh, that's a drum. You go, kid. You eat that chicken. Next, we'll give you pork.
Yeah, I'll probably do meatballs with pork.
Mm.
All right, well, I think we've oh, that should be our header for our
What's
episode.
she eating now? What is that?
Banana.
Oh, that is. Oh, now it's a banana. I was thinking, what is that? Onigiri? No, that's not what that is.
Okay, you derailed both of them. We accomplished our task.
All right, thanks guys.
Bye.